For the final trade of the day, Ben Poole, the head trader at Verified Investing, is here. Ben, what's a popular question you're getting?
I often get asked, how do you trade something when it's at the lows of the charts? And that's a great question. So I have a great chart for you guys. I have iRobot, IRBT is that stock ticker. And I'm going to show you on multiple time frames on how we dive into finding a specific level for a long trade or a short trade. In this case, it's going to be a long trade on something that is at the lows of the charts. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a weekly time frame to identify where some pivots are. So let me go ahead and switch to my charts. So I've identified, and this is a weekly chart. So I've got this high pivot right here, and you've got all this price action in here. So you can see that when it was underneath, it was resistance. Once it flipped it, it became support, became resistance, and now that it's above it, you can expect some support on this level when it gets down into the, if it hits it again. So we've also got this high pivot right here, and you can see it got rejected at this pivot right here, came back underneath, finally broke above, and look at how many times it hit. So this tells us again that this down sloping trend line is also going to be a lot of support. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom into the 1 minute chart. So here's what I have on the 1 minute chart. So this is where these two lines converge. So it doesn't give you an idea of exactly when to enter it unless it hits this level. But what I would like you to see is that these two lines kind of connect at least close enough to us for us to establish an entry point.
You like to use more than one view beyond a weekly chart. What happens when you pull up a one-day chart?
So this will give us at least a stop out level or an add level for iRobot. So here's that chart again. So what we want to do is take this high pivot right here, connect it to this pivot, and draw a trend line from here. So this was the third hit. And so what you're doing is you're waiting for a break above this down sloping trend line to give you an entry price. So your entry price on IRBT would be around $1.99. If it drops 40%, 40% is a huge move on IRBT. So that's why we start with a small position, but at least it gives us an idea of where to start or begin our entry price. So something that's beaten up so much into the lows of the charts, we want to make sure that we have multiple factors.
Multiple factors indeed. Thank you. And thanks for that example on buying low price stocks, Ben.
Take care.